Man, I'll let a nigga give me head on camera. Wait a minute, like, it's not what you thinking. Let me explain. It was just a regular day on set. So, yeah, man, as you probably already know from the title in the description box, this is the day that I regret, I think, most in my life. Yeah, man. A lot of people been asking me about this. It's been a long going thing since my show, Tex Brown. Back in the day, I don't know, some of y'all might have seen it, some of y'all may have not. I was with this production company called Signal 23 TV. And, I had been doing a lot of work in different shows for them. And they decided to give me my own show. Now, Tex Brown was something that had been in the works. It was a character that I had played on About Him season 1. And, he ended up going to jail. And the story picked up from him being incarcerated for 10 years. So, in the show, I abruptly got out of jail, and had to go back on the streets or whatever the case may be. So I got the script. I knew about the whole script. I read the script, you know what I'm saying? I also helped develop the script and added some more, meat to the script, just to expand on the character and give him more depth. So I knew about the jail scene in that first episode, which was pretty much, I'm in jail. I have a relationship in jail. I'm comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I'm institutionalized. So I didn't really expect to get out. I didn't want to get out because jail was all I knew. And pretty much being on the streets wasn't something that I wanted to be. I didn't have a family or none of that stuff on the streets. And this is the character's tech story. So when I read the script, I read the first episode where it says, Texas getting head, in a jail cell, and the security officer, CO, correction officer, comes and stops him and says, yo, you getting out, zip up your pants type thing. So I knew about the whole scene. It was already written. In my mind, I didn't pay it too much attention because in the other shows I've done sex scenes and things like that. So I pretty much thought, okay, we'll just figure out a cool way to film it. You won't really see what's happening. It'll just be shot creatively where it'll suggest that I'm receiving head on the show. So it took a while for the show to actually film. I think I was on the roster to start filming, but a lot of other things came up and my show kept getting pushed back, but I was patient, working with the company and still doing my thing on other shows. At the time, Signal 23 was going through a whole bunch of mess. Some of the actors from About Him had already quit. Brandon Carson had left Signal 23. And he was a big star. He was the lead from About Him. And also Rico Pruitt. He had left Signal 23. And to me, at that time, Rico was the moneymaker. He had came on About Him and kind of turned it up. In the beginning, About Him was, about a man coming of age, and there was a lot of sex scenes, but it wasn't really real sex, as far as I know. I had been on set a couple of times while they was filming the sex scenes, and I seen how it was going down. Now, it was this one particular episode that Rico came on, and in the script, they ran into each other, and, one thing led to another, and I think they, messed around in the alley or something behind a school or a library or something like that. But at the time, I think the character that Rico played, I think Rico took took it to an extreme. I mean, I think he really did it literally. Now, Henderson, who was the director and the writer of the series, he pretty much let them do whatever they wanted to do. And I think, you know, Rico, even when Rico first came to the show, I had to talk with him because, you know, I met him the first day I was on set. And he was doing things like getting up, you know, his dick would be hard, you know, and just be walking around the cameraman and stuff like that. And I told Rico, I pulled him to the side. I was like, you know, you ain't got to do that. You know what I'm saying? I was giving him some real game. I was like, man, this is acting. This ain't real. You know what I'm saying? Don't be getting up with your dick hard and doing all that kind of stuff around the, you know, it's just not a good look. You know, and he told me, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, man. You keeping it real with me. But at the end of the day, people going to do what they want to do. But to make a long story short, I think in that scene, he actually pulled his dick out. And the other character that was played by Brandon Carson, he did it too. Now, after that happened, you know, the show blew up pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad that a lot of times those type of situations propel something because sex sells, and I think it got the show a lot of attention, which also brung the company a lot more money, a lot more views, and it really made the show pop. But like I said, season 1 was over. The characters had left. You know, Brandon had left. Rico had quit. They was going through some issues with Signal 23, and they quit. So now the next star, you know what I'm saying, that they thought pretty much could carry the company was me. So that's when they started, you know, okay, well, we got Tripp. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make him, you know, we gonna give him his show and pump it because we needed to keep that money going in. You know, they needed to keep the money coming. So I was next on the roster to do my show. I was excited about it because I was a lead in the show. This was my first time being a lead on the show, you know, so I knew it was a good show. I knew it was a great script. I was excited about it. But at the same time, they were going through something with the other company and the writer, you know what I'm saying, Tyson Anthony, who wrote the book about him, you know. So I think Signal 23, we were filming season 2 of About Him. And I think Henderson got so much into his pride and ego that, you know, he had to make season 2 even better. You know, even though he didn't have Rico, he didn't have Brandon, you know what I'm saying? And other people had left too also, you know what I'm saying? Cousin Kendall and all of them was gone. So, you know, he had to pull out all the stops to make sure that season 2 was amazing and killed everything. And I think another company was doing another version of About Him. So they got into their whole egos. At least I know Signal 23 and Henderson got into their egos about this gonna be the dopest show. We got to put our all into it. I mean, they hired all types of people, Robin Givens and different actors in Atlanta and lightweight celebrities to be on the show. Now my show, it was kind of, I felt like it was just like a back burner. Like, okay, well, we gonna do this show too, you know, but About Him is the main thing. So we filming Tex Brown and we filming About Him at the same time, you know. Now in my show, you know, it was a jail scene. I was getting out of jail, so we had the whole jail built. You know what I'm saying? They came in and built the set, you know, the jail cells and the toilets and the beds and all that stuff. But it was also going to be used for a scene in About Him season 2. So the first day of shooting for me was the first episode when he's in the jail. So I'm excited, you know. I come to set and they tell me, okay, we filming because we only had so much time to have that studio. So we had to build the set and you know, pretty much after that day of shooting, it was going to be torn down. We didn't have extra time to film. So he wanted to get both of those scenes out the way, you know, before they tore down the set. So when I come to set, I came around 6 o'clock p.m., you know, and he told me, you know, we going to film this first and then we going to get to you. So they filming, you know, I'm chilling. You know, before I came to set, I went to the hairdresser, got my wig put on and, you know, did all of that. And I come to set and I'm chilling. You know, they filming, but filming took forever. You know what I'm saying? It took hours, you know what I'm saying, to get everything together. all the shots and, close up and wide and you know what I'm saying? We had to do all that. So I'm just chilling for the most part. By the time they got finished filming about him scenes, it was about maybe close to 2 a.m. Everybody was tired. The directors was tired. Production was tired. The actors was tired. I was tired. I was ready to get it in, So when it's time for me to shoot, first off, they introduced me to my scene partner, the person who was supposed to be my boyfriend in jail. And I never met the guy before. I didn't think he was an actor for real. Come to find out, he did porn in the past. Now, this the thing. I felt like they hired a lot of porn stars, but I felt like I kind of lightweight understood it because a lot of people wasn't careless enough, or they were scared to film the type of shots that we filmed, with sex scenes. Sometimes you had to show your ass and things like that. A lot of actors was afraid to do that or to even be in a gay series. The only person or people who would do that, was your main stars who was us, and then porn stars already, do porn for a living. So they was down for it, so a lot of times they hired porn stars, to be in the scenes with us. So I was like, okay, most of the time when I'm on set, I'm quiet, I'm laid back. I don't really talk too much to people. I speak and say what's up, but I'm just chilling, I'm in my own mind, in my own head, trying to prep for the scenes. So when it's time for me to go do my scenes, one of the, people in the company, one of the producers who I was really cool with, came to me and he was like, Henderson want to talk to you. And I was like, for what? And he was like, I don't know, I think he want to talk about y'all sex scene. And I was like, okay. So in my mind, when I heard that, I kind of knew it was going to be some bullshit. I was like, you want to talk about the sex scene for? But in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe he just want to tell me how we going to shoot it or something like that. So I go over to Henderson and I say, what's up? He got his camera and he acting like, he busy and looking at some clips in the camera, whatever the case may be. And he looks at me and he say, so what we going to do about your sex scene? And I say, what you mean what we going to do? We going to shoot it. Like, we could probably find a dope way to shoot it. And he was like, nah, you gotta show your dick. And I was like, what? Nah, man, hell no, I'm not about to show my dick. Is you crazy? And he was like, why not? And I was like, no, no, I'm not about to do that. Like, nah, that's out the question. And he was like, come on, it's like the first episode. I want you to be successful. I want your show to do how, About Him season 1 did. I want you to blow up. If you show it now in the first episode, you would never have to do it again. We could just film all the other episodes and, the fan base will already be there. And I'm like, nah, I'm just not with it, man. Like, we could go get a dildo or something. He said, a dildo? It's 2 something in the morning. Where we gonna get a dildo from? We got to shoot this scene. And I just was like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm not about to do it. And I walked away. Now, in my head, when he asked me that, I kind of felt like, damn. And the reason why I felt like damn was because, to me, Henderson was my friend. And, outside of work, we had kind of like a personal relationship. We talked about things. He knew personal things about me, some of the things about me growing up, because we talked a lot about some of the things before, we started filming and pretty much to develop the character. So I thought he was my friend. And I felt like, damn, like, even though I have friends that's in the music business, that's in film and things like that, when we on set, I respect you as far as whatever job you're doing, if you're a director, I treat you like a director. I'm not going to just pull any type of strings or anything because we personal. I know you personally. I give you your space to be who you are, you know, and that's that. But in my mind, I felt some type of way about it. I was just like, you know, damn, like, why would he ask me to do that? And I kind of felt like, wow, like, this nigga trying to pimp me off and, you know, get me to do something that he know I'm not comfortable with. So now I'm in my head. I'm not in the happy space no more as far as like how I was excited about filming and things like that. I'm kind of like fucked up, like, and it's really a personal feeling like, damn, like, really? You know, and you know, maybe about a minute later, another producer came and, you know, we was cool too. You know, and we still cool to this day. You know what I'm saying? I felt like she was doing her job or doing what she had to do. She was kind of like the mouthpiece for Signal 23. And she came up to me all cool like, yo, let me talk to you. I know what you want. You from the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? You like me. You know, I'm from Chicago. You from Cleveland. We talk money. And she was like, what you want? You want more money? And I was like, I mean, yeah. Now, I said yeah because I felt like she was coming to me better than Henderson was. Because it was like, you know, when he asked me, he ain't offering no more money or nothing. He just, you know, is you going to show your dick? And, you know, at least when she came, she wanted to give me something for it. You know, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I could use the extra money. But it's like, she was like, there it is. We going to do it. We going to give you, you know, and they offered me $500 more on top of, you know, what I was really getting, which really ain't that much, you know, to even consider me showing my dick on camera, you know. So I was kind of like, all right, I'll do it. Like, I need the money, you know, but I still didn't feel good about it. After I said that, I kind of sunk a lot deeper. And I got nervous, you know, and they were setting up the scene and things like that. So I was like, well, let me go take a walk. So I took a walk. Now, in that moment, I can't think of another time at that age or at that moment in my life that I felt more alone. The other guy who was working with Signal 23 that I felt like was my friend, I felt like he was only my friend when we wasn't on set because I think he was so private and scared to show the company that he had a connection with me or a connection with somebody that one of the actors he wanted to portray, you know, I'm just here for work, which I understood, you know. So I couldn't talk to him. I didn't have nobody to call. I didn't have nobody to speak to. So I walked down the street and I'm walking. It's nighttime and I'm just in my head and I'm like, damn. Then everything just started hitting me. It just started hitting me like, wow, you know, I can't believe that it's going down like this. Like, I can't believe that my friend Henderson would put me in a position to, you know, even ask me something like that when he know how I feel about that. You know, my whole life, I have been a person that protected my body. You know, I wouldn't even come out the bathroom naked or have my dick print showing or, you know, if I'm on the beach, I'm covered up. I protect that part of my body. Now, I showed my ass on camera, but it was just like, okay, ass, but I'm not showing my dick. You know, so that was one thing that I wanted to protect myself from. I never wanted to show, you know, I'm not a porn star. I'm not down with that. I was really hurt. So I'm walking and I'm like, I can't do it. Like, and then I started thinking about everybody else. I started thinking when he was saying, yo, I want your show to be successful. I started thinking about, you know, the actors that I fought for to be on the show that, you know, they budget probably, you know, they per diems and they cost probably was high. And I wanted everybody to get paid. I wanted the show to do good. I just got in my feelings and to be honest, you know, I started to cry. You know, just from hurt and disappointment of myself. Um, and just feeling lonely at the time. And I wish I had somebody to talk to, somebody to tell me, don't do it. Like, if you don't feel good about doing it, don't do it. But at that moment, I thought about everybody else except for myself. $500 wasn't enough. I took it because it was something more than what Henderson was offering when he first asked me. And, I just cried walking. Nobody knew this. I was just in my head and just very sad. So I walked to the store, to the gas station, and I got a Black and Mild, and I got one of them little bottles of, liquor or whatever. I think I got a bottle of Hennessy, and I drank that, and I smoked a mile, and I just walked, and I thought about everything. I thought about my brothers, my little brothers that had passed away. The disappointment in myself, but at the same time, I wanted to be successful. I wanted my show to be good, and I felt like, maybe that would push people to see it. Maybe the first episode would be off the chain, but I was hurt because somebody that I considered a friend put me in that position. I felt like he could have protected me more. I felt like we could have found the better way to shoot it. But just the way he came to me, I realized that it was just business. I realized that I was pretty much being pimped, to make money, make him more money, because my contract was already set and done, signed, sealed and delivered. They had to redo the contract because they had to put the extra 500 on, but no matter what the show made, I had already had a set price of what I would make. And I knew that he was just doing this because he needed money for the company, because he was spending so much money on About Him season 2 and paying all these other artists, Robin Givens, and all these sets and things that he really felt like was going to blow the show up. He spent all his money on that, and he needed me to make that money back. So I smoked my mile, I drank my shot, and I went back, and my mood was totally changed. I wasn't happy, and I'm a very emotional person. When I'm not happy, you could feel it, so I really didn't know how I was going to act in the scene, with that on my heart so heavy. I tried to act like I was good, but if anybody was around me that really knew me, they could look at me and tell that I wasn't good. When I got back, they was ready to shoot. So I go in the jail cell, and you got other people standing around, production people, and maybe a couple actors. I was in my head. I asked Henderson, I said, well, how much I got to show? Like I said, I'm not showing my whole dick. And he was like, well, at least just show the head. You can cover up, show the head part. He got to give you head in the shot. And I'm like, man. So now I got to put my dick in this dude's mouth for this show. And I was just like, so fucked up. I couldn't get hard, and it's a scene where I'm getting head, so of course I had to be hard. I was all in my head. I was just wasting time. I asked, I want a closed set. I asked if everybody could leave. Maybe that would help me get out of my head. I didn't want nobody seeing that. So he was like, y'all gotta leave, and they all was looking like, why we gotta leave? And I'm like, nah, man, everybody gotta go. So at this point, it's just me in the cell, my scene partner, and Henderson sitting behind with the camera. So I'm laying back, trying to get ready for the scene. As soon as I could get hard, we could shoot. But it wasn't happening. I was hurt. Henderson kind of got tired and was like, what you need to do? Like, and I was like, He was like, you want me to leave so you could, get hard or whatever the case may be? And I was like, yeah, because I really didn't even want Henderson seeing my dick. I didn't want nobody seeing it. The guy, my scene partner, is on his knees, ready for the shot between my legs. And I'm just like, yeah, can you leave? So he leaves and I'm there, trying to stroke my dick to get hard. And it wasn't happening. I did that for about a few minutes. And I'm just looking at old boy and he looking like, what's good? Like, he looked like he was into it. Like he was down to do it. And just waiting. And I was just like, man, I got to get this scene out the way. I think Henderson left the camera rolling too. So I asked the guy, I said, can you suck my balls or something so I could get hard, lick my balls? And he was like, yeah. So I let him lick my balls. And that was stroking myself. I started to get hard. So once I got a little bit hard, I still couldn't get all the way hard. I called Henry. I said, yo, Hen, come on. Like, let's do this. And he came. He was like, you ready? And, he started rolling. And we did the scene. A boy came in and he was giving me head or whatever. And it wasn't like he was giving me head. It was like he was doing what he had to do for the scene. It wasn't something I enjoyed. It wasn't something I wanted to do. It wasn't something I felt good about. It wasn't something that I did to completion or bust a nut from or got his number after. Like, that felt good. Let's continue. It was something I was ashamed of, something I was embarrassed by, something I wasn't proud of myself for. Once we got the scene, pretty quick, we just continued rolling. I tried to get out of my head because I really wanted to do a good job and do a good show. It was late. I was still thinking about everybody else. I didn't want them to be tired. I was really thankful for the people who was being a part of my show. So, and I'm the lead, so I had to lead by example. I couldn't show that I was tired or upset because that energy rubs off. So I continued on. But to be honest, from that day, I was never the same with Signal 23. I didn't consider Henderson a friend no more. I looked at him like somebody who pretty much didn't really care about me. He cared more about his pockets and, the show blowing up so he can get money. For me, I would never put a friend of mine that I considered a friend in a position like that to have to choose something like that. I wouldn't even ask him that. And true enough, I take accountability because I could have just kept it at no. I let them come over and offer me more money. I thought about everybody else except for myself, and it's something that I never wanted to do. I'm not proud of. And I was hurting that whole night. Matter of fact, I hurt for maybe the next week. I was ashamed of myself. I didn't want nobody to see it. Before I was proud of the show, I wanted everybody to see it. After that, I wasn't proud of the show no more. From that day on, when I went to set, it wasn't the same anymore. I didn't look at Henderson no more. I didn't look at him as a friend. So my whole aura and energy changed. But me being professional, I still went to work and kept it cool to do a good job. I don't know if anybody noticed, but anybody who really know me would have knew. Like, nah, he ain't the same. I didn't speak to Henderson the same no more. It was times that I would protect him when other directors and people would say things about him and, oh, they just a porn company. I stood up for him. I'm a very loyal person. But when I seen that, it was a wrap. I was pretty depressed about it. Maybe I say a few days later, they called me and it was like, yo, this scene is off the chain. And I was like, for real? And he was like, yeah, you want to come down here and see it before we release it? Because I'm telling you, it's crazy. And I said, nah. I was like, nah, I don't want to see it. Just do what you do. And I told him on that call, I was like, well, I trust you to do your thing and make it look good. I didn't know how bad the scene was or how much my dick was showing or none of that. But at the same time, I still trusted Henderson a little bit. You know, I figured that he would cut it good and not show too much and make me look the best that I could. But when I seen it, it was the total opposite. I felt like he put more in it than he should. I think they stayed on it a little too long. I think it was a highlight of the show. I think they wanted that in there because it would propel sales. I think a lot of people had seen me, you know, my ass and do these sex scenes and things like that. And I think they was waiting to see, you know, what I was working with or something like that. When I seen the episode, I was embarrassed. I was hurt. And like I said, I was in depression for a while after that because I didn't know where my career would go. I wanted to be taken as a serious actor. Anybody who's ever shot a scene with me, a sex scene, they know how respectable I am. You know, I'm a perfectionist. I want to do a great job. I want to be known as a great actor. So when I do these scenes, I put my all into it. I'm going to make it look like it's real, but I respect all of my scene partners. You know, I never put my tongue on nobody's asshole, you know what I'm saying? Or did anything disrespectful to them, you know, getting hard-ons and things like that. I never did that. You know, I shoot my scenes and I'm up. I cover myself so nobody on set see me. I'm very professional. Now, I don't know what everybody else did. I never had sex on any of my series. None of my series is real. That's the only thing that is semi-real because the dude actually put my dick in his mouth. And, you know, I just didn't know where my career would go. You know, I thought that I messed up. You know, this is going to get out there and it's not going to be good for me. So I was hurt. I had to find a way to forgive myself because it was done and I couldn't just walk around with the guilt of I did this. I had to stand back up and accept it and just be like, yo, it is what it is. But it took a while for that. You know, when the show came out, it hit. It became the #1 show on the network. Everybody loved it. A lot of people did say something about, you know, the jail scene. But I think a lot more people were compelled by my acting and the storyline and things like that. So hopefully, at least I feel like that overshadowed that scene that was in the beginning. But at the same time, I blew up and I got a lot of new fans and I got fans for the wrong reason. I think a lot of my fans, you know, sexualized me instead of realizing that I was a passionate actor and that I love what I do. And then a lot of people was thinking that I'm a porn star. You know, that's the thing. When you're a real actor and your company hires these porn stars, and a lot of these porn stars I never heard of because I don't look at gay porn. So when they hiring porn stars to be your scene partner, and people know these porn stars and they seen they work, and then they see you in a scene with them and y'all having a sex scene, and the way I make it look real, you know, the fans was chopping up the sex scenes and putting it on Pornhub and Xtube, and you know, and in the beginning we was trying to fight that. We was trying to get it all taken down. Every time we heard about, you know, it being out there, a lot of people would hit me up saying they seen me on, you know, my Vidsta and all of these other things, and I'll be like, what? Like, what is it doing on there? You know, a lot of people didn't pay to see the series, so they never seen my acting. You know, they just seen that sex scene in the clip that fans did, and it was like, you know, people was labeling me a porn star because I'm in a scene with somebody that they know is a porn star. It was very damaging, I felt like. But I don't feel like I was with a company that protected their artists, that cared about their artists. I think it was all about, you know, getting this money right now. And the truth of the matter, sex does sell. You know, when we release episodes without it, we didn't get the views or we didn't get the money that the scenes that had sex scenes in them did. And it's just sad because, you try to do something for the community and you try to put out some dope work, and it's like that's the only thing they respect. When you do put out something good and you have people saying that this raunchy and we don't like this, but where's the support for the shows that's not like that? Where's the support for the shows that we don't do that on? I've been on many shows that I didn't have sex scenes on with different companies, and this is the show that was blowing up. These are the episodes that's blowed up and got us notoriety and popular, which actually brought more money to the company, which made all of us, get paid a little more. I mean, when we first started About Him, season 1, I don't even think we was getting paid. We was just happy to be doing a web series, and even Henderson was broke back then. After the money started rolling in, it started rolling in a lot. When we first went on tour, it wasn't that many people at the shows. After, some of those episodes dropped, especially the one with Rico and Brandon, we went back out on tour and it was wrapped around the corner. Everybody knew our names, and it's just sad that, this is what the community supports more than anything. And I know it's not nothing new. I know in everywhere sex sells, when it's straight, gay, whatever the case may be, that's just a known thing. But, while everybody was rejoicing and, spreading these videos and clipping them up and stuff like that, I was hurting. I wasn't happy with myself. I was disappointed in myself. I went back and forth with I just should have said no and stuck to it. But like I say, a lot of times we think about other people more than we think about ourselves, and we don't think about the big picture. We only think about right now. But the things that you do today can affect your tomorrow. Be careful, because ain't no love out here. You know what I'm saying? It really ain't. People will use you, and when you're done, they'll toss you away and try to go get another one, which would be hard to do with somebody like me, because it ain't too many like me. I truly believe that. But like I said, I was hurt by it. I'm still not proud of it. Some people called me and asked me, my true friends called me personally and asked me like, what's up with the, I seen you on this and that. And I explained to them, which made me feel better, because I didn't want them just thinking that, I made a decision just to get head on camera and like the way it looked. I didn't enjoy it. Like I said, the moment they said cut, I was done. No speaking to old boy, he can leave. Yeah, but that changed me. In the way I dealt with the company. I didn't move the same. I didn't rock with Henderson the same. I knew he wasn't my friend, and I started treating things like it was just business. Yeah, man. So everybody who been wanting to know what happened, that's what happened. And the lesson here, man, is just put yourself first. Follow your first mind. Don't let nobody persuade you or talk you into something that you in your heart really know that you don't want to do. It's not something I'm proud of. Now, when the show came out and it hit #1, I was excited because I felt like it was the show that nobody expected to do good, and they really didn't expect it to do better than About Him. But I always knew that I had something, and when the fans started loving that and giving me that feedback like, yo, you dope and this is a dope show, it made me feel good. Still to this day, people still think, yo, he a porn star or he do this, but no, I'm not a porn star. I've been offered to do porn by, several different companies, and I turned it down because that's not what I do. y'all just gotta respect that. I'm just not that nigga. You know, I'd rather have sex with somebody that I love and care for, not just random, just for y'all, or just to make money. You know, I could be broke on my last dime, and that's not something that I would do. And that lesson taught me even more so that that's something that I would never do, even though I knew that before I did it. We all make decisions in life. Some decisions are good, some decisions are in poor choice. But you can't be, sulking about it and, feeling down about it. You just gotta roll with it and keep grinding. And, you know, your true light will shine. God knows my heart. He knows the place that I was in when I did that. And I still believe that I will be blessed beyond measure. You know, like I said, I was thinking about other people. I wanted other people to get paid. You know, I wanted the show to be successful. I just didn't think about me enough. Always put you first. No matter what. Put yourself first. Don't let nobody talk you into doing something you don't want to do. Follow your first instincts. You know, it's okay to say no. And just keep it moving. Don't feel bad for saying no. You know, even if everybody else doing it, I'm good. No. You know, oh, I offer you 500. Nah, I'm straight. That's what I would have did in hindsight. But like I said, I've moved on from that. I've grown from it. And I'm a better person because of it. And now I'm here to share with y'all this experience so maybe y'all won't have to go through it. That was a bad time for me, but I'm back and I'm better. You feel me? So holla at your boy. Leave some comments down below. Let me know how you feel about it. If anything I left out, maybe I'll talk about some more about my days with Signal 23. But that's my truth, man. And it is what it is. Holla at your boy.